let's go into getting your website built and making sure that you've got some email communication available. The fastest way to get if your website is not your product, meaning your website is more of a way to market your business, the perfect example would be for Nikki Providence for a hair salon. Nobody's going to get their hair done on the website. They're just going to find out about your business and they're going to go to it locally. Then one of the best ways to do is there's a lot of great resources now that help you build a website very fast, very easily. You don't need to work with a developer. It's going to save you a lot of money. There's still a lot of people that try to charge thousands and thousands of dollars to do basic websites because a lot of people just don't realize that there are other options that they can use for free or for very little money. So there are sites that I love. They include things like Weebly, Wix, Site Creator. Intuit has a good one. WordPress is a little bit more complicated, but a lot of people set it up. I'll show you Weebly, for example. So you're going to go through the process. They basically give you different templates. You can drag and drop different features in. And sites like these are meant so that once you registered your domain, you can get your website up in less than a day and have a presence and you can be pointing people towards it. So typically what you'll want to do before you use one of these is you'll want to register your domain, although I'm sure a lot of these services will do the domain registration for you. As you're building out the website, you're probably going to want different images that you can use. iStock Photo is a great place. You pay per image. It'll cost anywhere between $0.25 to maybe up to a couple dollars to get rights to use images legally. This is stuff if you didn't have a photographer, right? You don't have a business yet. There's no one taking pictures, but if you want a picture of somebody getting their hair done, if you want pictures of a salon, if you just want stuff that you can put in to visually represent your business, then iStock Photo is a great place to go. And if you need to set up commerce, so let's say that we ship a product in. Remember our business with our Laptop Covers Incorporated, and we want to sell those products online. Maybe we're just keeping the laptops out of our own house, and we're going to ship them as orders come in online. Well, most notably, you can use PayPal and Google Checkout just to very simply set up the credit card processing. But there are also other services like Shopify, Volusion, and Magento that are going to help you set up an online store very quickly. So let's take a look at Shopify for a second. So you can see it's a very easy way to create an e-commerce store, very fast. Create a store builder, you can put in your product, you can start selling them. If you need a website that's not just marketing, but you actually need to sell products through it, sites like these are going to be unbelievably valuable and helpful in that process. In addition, you're probably going to need to start sending out some emails. So for example, Nikki, as people come into your salon, you may want to get all their business cards, and you may want to email out on a weekly or monthly basis saying, hey, here's a promotion, here's a deal, here's a special. How are you going to do that? There's 3 services I like a lot. The first is MailChimp. The second is Constant Contact, and the third is SendGrid. They're very easy ways to maintain and manage email communication and email lists. And you can send to tens of thousands of people. It's very cost effective. You pay based on the total amount of emails that you send. And then finally, the last part of creating the corporate presence, as we talked about, is making sure that you just set up a page on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. You know, a lot of people are wondering, ask me all the time about social media and the value to the business. It's like anything else. You get out of it what you put in. So nothing's magically going to happen by creating a Facebook page for your business, by creating a Twitter account, by creating a LinkedIn company profile. But sometimes that is a way to communicate with your customer. Sometimes it's easier way for people to give referrals. Sometimes when somebody goes into salon, they'll like your page, and then other people will see that as well too. So it's like anything else. Put the appropriate amount of time into it to make sure that you're getting a return, an equal return on investment. And those are the key steps of setting up the corporate identity.